TCI Channel 63 presents the TCI Sports High School Basketball Game of the Week.
From the new Troy High, it's the Ferndale Eagles and the Troy Colts. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joe Abramson along with Dave Jones, and tonight we have an SMA matchup that features 3 of Oakland County's top basketball players.
That's right, Joe. Tonight we'll get to see 3 of the area's top players who are Division I prospects. Ferndale comes in with its sophomore, Jared Stevens, and Troy brings in 2 of its top prospects, Waikee Tyson and Jay Pfeiffer, who are already signed with Division I schools.
Of course, as almost always happens when you have star players on the floor, it's somebody else that comes out and leads his team to victory. We'll see who that is when we come back with the tip-off here on TCI.
Excuse me, do you wear your safety belt?
Why, no, I don't wear my safety belt.
Thank you.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
And we're back and introducing the starting lineups right now here at Troy High as we await the start of this game between the Eagles and the Colts. Again, the Troy Colts a half game behind Royal Oak Kimball for first place in the SMAs. You look at last year's records, Ferndale 10-4 in the league, 13-9 overall. Troy 10-4 in the league as well, 17-6 overall. Both teams part of what I believe was a 4-way tie for the league title. There you see the current standings: Ferndale 1-3, Troy 4-1. As we mentioned, Royal Oak Kimball 5-1. So that's just a matter of how many league games you played. This is a very big game for the Colts as far as being in the race.
That's
and
right.
for the Eagles, it's just trying to get some momentum.
Just trying to
going.
get some wins, right.
There you see the starters, Hoppy, Henderson, Jarrett Stevens, that's the guy to watch, number 54 for Ferndale, sophomore, the #1 player in Oakland County. Not the #1 sophomore, the #1 player in Oakland County. And Hermes and Burnside. Over with Troy, you have Krupitzer, Grant, Tyson, Feldkamp, and Pfeiffer. There you have the 2 big stars in Tyson and Pfeiffer and their seniors, whereas you got a sophomore at Ferndale.
That's right. You got the experienced seniors going up against the inexperienced sophomore.
One of the things I had heard from a local writer, he said he talked to Jarrett Stevens, and Jarrett was a big story last year, starting as a freshman, becoming a dominant player, and he couldn't wait to get home that summer and play his brother Dwayne, who's a starter at Michigan State, thinking, man, I'm gonna be able to handle my brother now. And I guess Dwayne made Jarrett look really bad, which was probably good for him, because he realized, hey, still got a long way to go.
Just to let him know you still got a long way to go.
And from what I understand, he's real good-natured about it, too. This is why we can talk about it on TV.
And that's one of the things that may help Jared, is to play against his older brother, more often and get tough.
There you saw Coach Don McNeil, and there's Jim Clary, the Troy Colts head coach. And I don't know if he cares, but Cosmo, the all-knowing, legendary seer of the Oakland Press, has called a supersonic upset special, picking Ferndale by 4. And Cosmo is never wrong. Just ask him.
That's a tough call. I think one thing Ferndale is going to have to do is definitely cut down on turnovers and play almost a near-perfect game if Troy comes out and plays a good game tonight.
Well, Troy controls the tap, and Pfeiffer's got the ball. He's going down low to Tyson. He's trying to post up Stevens. He gets it back out to Pfeiffer. He's going to look inside. The ball tapped away, picked up by Feldkamp. He misses off the side of the backboard. The ball goes out of bounds off of a Troy player. Ferndale's ball. Wasn't a very good shot they were able to get off that time from behind the backboard.
Not at all. That wasn't a good offensive series for the Troy Colts there at all to start out the game with.
Now we got Mar Hermiz getting the ball over to number 34, Burnside. He gives it up to Henderson. Back up top to Hoppy. Shot fired up there by number 34,
Did an excellent
Burnside.
job of following his shot.
A la Vinnie Johnson, followed it, got it in. And we're kind of shielded from that corner by the public address stand here at Troy High. There you see Pfeiffer getting the ball back out to Feldkamp, fires up a 3 off the front of the rim. Stevens with the rebound, and he's going to bring it up the floor himself.
Jared Stevens is a big guy for a sophomore.
Hoppy tries to go inside to Henderson. That ball's knocked away and stolen by Doug Grant, who gets it into Pfeiffer's hand up ahead to Feldkamp. He's going to look down low to Tyson. He had Krupitzer posting up, but instead, Pfeiffer fires up the three.
And there's Jay Pfeiffer spotting up at three-point land and hitting his first shot.
And the Colts take a 3-2 lead. Somewhat of a press on, and Ferndale throws the ball away right into Tyson's hands. Tyson with the not so fashionable high socks look. Feldkamp fires up a three. 6-2 Troy.
And here's what's going to tell the game for Ferndale. Will they keep the turnovers down, break the press, and not throw the ball away like they just done there, Joe?
Well, in that case, Jarrett Stevens, I think, tried to pick up a ball that was intended for Henderson and got through his hands, and he just wasn't ready to pick it up. And again, a turnover, which is something they have to cut down on, especially early in the game. Pfeiffer goes into Tyson. He hits it back up to Feldkamp. Goes back down low to Tyson. Hermes knocks the ball away. Burnside's got it now on the fast break. Back to Hermes. Up against Feldkamp off the glass. No rebound, I believe, by Henderson. A foul before the shot.
Hermes made an excellent drive on that one. I thought for certain he was going to get the bucket. He put it up nicely, but it came off the rim.
And that foul was on number 44, Greg Feldkamp.
Here's the replay here with Hermes driving down the lane, going up, getting contact, but not getting a foul called.
And again, the foul after, well, before or after the shot, but not during it. Instead, the inbound to Henderson. He misses the layup, and Tyson steals the rebound from him. Pfeiffer's got the ball now. Goes back over to Feldkamp. Feldkamp up top to number 24, Krupitzer. He looks for the open man, gets it in the hands of Grant, back up to Feldkamp, now over to Pfeiffer, and they're going to let him try to run the offense. Hermes checking him. Goes to Tyson in the high post, back to Pfeiffer, fires up a 17-foot jumper off the front of the glass, and no, Tyson with the putback, and it's 8-2.
Waukee Tyson doing a great job on the boards, going up, getting the rebound, and putting it right back in for two.
Sean Hoppy now with the ball with Feldkamp guarding him. He goes over in the corner to Burnside. He's got Feldkamp in a switch now. Back up top to Hermes. Going to look over to Hoppy. Haven't really gotten Stevens into the offense yet. Burnside's going to pull up for three. Off the side of the rim. Feldkamp with the rebound. He's got Krupitzer deep. Decides not to go to him. Now he's going to take it into the lane himself, throw it off the glass, and doesn't get the shot to fall, but he does get the foul. Or are they going to call that offensive?
Looks like they're calling an offensive foul.
That's two fouls. That's two fouls on Feldkamp.
Okay, here's the replay here. Greg sees an opening down the lane, decides to go in, but getting position is Burnside. He was there for the charge.
Well, Troy makes two substitutions, and Greg Feldkamp does not come out.
Feldkamp is their point guard, and he's a pretty good player, Joe. He's a gutsy kid. He'll drive, and there are times he'll get hot from the outside also.
Now, he's got two fouls. They sure can't afford to get him a third foul this early in the game. Burnside gets it on the give and go underneath the Hermes off the glass, and good, and it's 8-4, Troy.
Hermes did a good job of taking that pass as he was on his way up to take the shot, didn't come down with it, and put the ball in the bucket.
Pfeiffer goes over to Grant. He gets it to Feldkamp. He drives again off the glass, blocked by Stevens. Rebound by number 45, Brian Dukes, and there's a foul on the putback.
Looks like Hermes is going to get that foul.
Should be. We'll wait for the official signal as you see Feldkamp driving.
And here's the replay here with Greg Feldkamp driving to the bucket. That's Jarrett Stevens coming over and blocking the shot, and then Hermes committing the foul there. And that's number 45, that's Brian Dukes going to the line.
Brian Dukes at the line. One thing that's kind of interesting, in Oakland County, Ferndale has the number 14 offense, and they're playing against the number 14 defense. Kind of an even match there. But Troy does have its offense in the top 30 at number 23, whereas Ferndale does not have its defense there. So Troy's getting in the top 30 on both ends of it, and Ferndale's only getting in on the offensive end.
On the offensive end, so they've got to pick up their defense.
Both free throws go. It's 10-4 now for Troy as Dukes cans two. Burnside facing a little bit of a press, gets it back to Hermes. Now the Troy defense backs off. Hermes brings it over midcourt with Feldkamp checking him. Goes inside to Reggie Ballard. He looked like he wasn't ready for it. Back up top to Hermes. The ball is knocked away and stolen by number 31, Dave Cheek. Scramble for the ball. This time it's picked up by Grant. He kind of waves the defender off of him. No whistle on that. Now they get the ball in Pfeiffer's hand, and he tries to slow it up a little bit and set the offense up. Goes inside to Grant, back up to Pfeiffer, fires up the three, off the front of the rim, no. Grant with the rebound and a foul, that time probably on Jarrett Stevens.
And Grant did a good job of blocking out down there, going up and getting the rebound, and then went right back up with the shot and drew the foul.
Well, they're going to call that foul on number 52, Reggie Ballard.
Here's the replay here with Jay Pfeiffer taking the three, comes off. And there's Doug Grant going up, getting the rebound, going back up and drawing the foul.
You have to be impressed with Troy's ability to box out and get the offensive rebound. They've got a lot of putbacks, get some easy layups, and combine that with a couple of three-pointers they've hit, makes for a nice, well-rounded offense.
Absolutely. I think that could be trouble for Ferndale. If Waukee Tyson and Doug Grant control the boards, then Ferndale's in for a long night tonight.
He missed the first free throw off the front of the rim, but got the second one easy. And they're going to bring Waukee Tyson back into the game. Again, those socks, he looks a little bit like Walt Williams, the rookie for the Sacramento Kings. Sometimes you get so unstylish, though, that it becomes stylish. So it's probably not a bad way to go. That, you got to have a, your own little niche so people can remember you.
Okay, Troy is coming out with their press. It looks like a 3-2 press.
And they're going to inbound to Hermes, and he's being trapped in the corner already. He gets it up to Burnside. He beats the press. He's got Stevens on the corner instead. He goes over to number 52, Ballard. He fires off the glass, and no. Rebound goes off of Burnside's hands, and it's Troy's ball. The break was there. They just weren't able to execute the shot.
Absolutely. Ferndale did a good job that time of breaking the press.
All right, Pfeiffer brings it up a little slower, looking to set the offense up. He's got number 45, Dukes, trying to get himself open. Now Tyson comes up in the high post. Turns around at the foul line, thinks about the shot, instead sends it back out to Cheek. He fires up a 16-footer and cans it with Hoppy all over him.
Good-looking shot there by Dave Cheek.
13-4, Troy on top. Hermes over to Burnside. He's looking to get it across midcourt, can't.
2-2-1 press by Troy.
Now Hermes gets it over. He fires it in the corner to Stevens. He gets it back up to Burnside. Now Hermes is going to set the offense up, and the official is going to call a timeout. Burnside got poked in the eye. And in high school basketball, they will stop the game if the player looks like he's hurt, which is probably the right thing to do. Well, definitely the right thing.
Absolutely.
And they get the ball into Hermes. Now he goes over to Burnside, back down low to...
We've got a three-pointer here by Jarrett Stevens, yes.
Double check that. He is the 5th leading scorer in Oakland County, but that's only his 6th three-pointer of the year. Tyson now gets it baseline right. He turns and spins off the glass, doesn't get it. Hoppy with the rebound. Hoppy outlets to Hermes, and he tries to get the break set up. They got Stevens again in the corner. This time he goes to Hoppy. Underneath to number 52, Ballard. He fires off the glass, no. And the rebound this time goes off of Jarrett Stevens with a little help from Brian Dukes.
So far, Troy has yet to get Waukee Tyson deep into the post. Let's see if this continues. It's making it easier for Jarrett Stevens to push him out a bit because he's not setting up deep.
That's true. Everything's been high post or far right baseline. Well, Pfeiffer's going to look to get the ball on the wing this time to Dukes as the whistle blows. And they're going to have a foul on Hoppy. That was away from the ball. I didn't see anything, but he didn't argue about it. Even kind of raised his hand and admitted to whatever it was that he did. There's the inbound pass. They get it to Feldkamp again. Feldkamp playing with those 2 fouls. Kicks it up top to 31. Cheek, he fires up another one again.
That's 2 in a row for Cheek,
that
right?
one-handed push shot of his.
He's going up and taking that shot with confidence.
15-7. The Colts continue to hold that 8-point lead.
Once again, Troy
breaks the press.
Troy comes out with that 2-2-1 press.
They leave Hoppy open for the 3, and he fires it over the rim. This time the rebound again goes off of a Ferndale player. They seem to get to the ball, and they just can't control
it, right. You know, Troy's coming out with this 2-2-1 press, but they're not applying a lot of pressure. I think they're trying to see if Ferndale is just going to throw the ball away on their own.
This time, Pfeiffer uses a good pick from Tyson and fires it a little strong off the glass. The rebound ends up being saved by number 31, Cheek. He fires and misses, and number 52, Ballard, saves it for Ferndale and brings it up on the break. Hermes thinks about driving, kicks it back up to Burnside. He fires up the 3 off the front of the rim, and no. Tyson with the rebound, he outlets it to Pfeiffer. He brings it up looking for the break, and it isn't there. Well, Pfeiffer's trying to spread out, get a little isolation. Now he's going to post up Dukes. He turns around at the baseline for an 8-footer, doesn't get it. And there's a foul, I believe, on the rebound on Dukes pushing off.
And I think you're right. It looks like the referee is definitely coming to the table, calling a foul on Brian Dukes.
Foul.
Here's the replay here. Jay Pfeiffer's looking inside, gets the feed to Duke. Duke goes up for the shot, comes off, and there's Reggie Ballard getting the rebound and getting fouled by Brian Dukes.
Just got enough of the arm for the ref to blow the whistle. Now there's no press as there's just over 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Hermes with the ball. He's going to look to Burnside down at the baseline. Gets to him now back up top. He's got Hoppy open on the weak side. He's going to try to drive. And that's going to be a foul on Brian Dukes again. And quickly he has 2 fouls.
And that's exactly what the Ferndale coach wants his player to do. Hoppy's got the ball on the wing. He sees an opening, goes down the lane, draws the blocking foul from Brian Dukes.
Hermes has the ball up top. Scott Stevens trying to post up Tyson inside, but he's double teamed, still holds on to the ball and goes strong off the glass.
Beautiful play, because it looked like they had that diagnosed to where he couldn't get it into Stevens, but he went ahead and put it up there. Stevens went up, got the ball, and put it in the bucket.
Yeah, they knew it was coming, they still couldn't stop it. Well, now with just over 10 seconds left in the quarter, Troy's going to try to get off that last shot. They go underneath the Tysons. Again, he's out so far, fires up the baseline jumper, doesn't get it. Throw away the outlet pass, however, but Myers is unable to convert. Matt Myers, and the first quarter ends with Troy ahead 15-9.
Not a bad first half or first quarter for Ferndale especially. Troy coming with the press, but not really forcing them into any turnovers.
And really, they were able to keep Jarrett Stevens out of the offense until that last play. We're going to check out the Ferndale huddle right now.
Every time we've been 2-on-1, offensively. Right now, while we're in this, we running wide. Running wide right now. Take that ball, Amar, and out the middle, good from the side a little bit. They're trying to overplay that pass. We have to throw it down in here. Once we get it, make sure we get that exchange. Now they may come down a double. So the exchange got to be quick. Once we get the exchange, look opposite low. That man's wide open. Let's go. Now we're getting ready to go into 1 right now. Same group. We're going right into 1.
Coming up this month on Roadshow Video, Brad and Pat travel to Industry in Pontiac to witness Nocturnal Fest. That's coming up this month on Roadshow Video, Saturday and Monday at 9 p.m. on Channel 63. And Roadshow Video would have been the Super Bowl halftime show if Michael Jackson hadn't agreed to do it first.
It would have been. Yeah.
It was a done deal, I thought.
Maybe next year.
Hey, yeah, they'll be in Atlanta. The Eagles start out the second quarter with the ball. Hermes has it. He's going to go over to Burnside. I figure they're going to try to post up Stevens at some point on this possession. Instead, they get over to Hermes' baseline. Feldkamp steps across on the pass and steals it. Kicks it back to number 31, Dave Cheek, and I think Cheek is 3 for 3.
Cheek is 3 for 3. He did an excellent job that time of running the break, filling the lane as Greg Feldkamp got possession of that ball.
Now Ferndale's going to set up. Hoppy goes underneath to Stevens, and again he gets the easy layup, and they're going to have to go to that more often.
Beautiful feed. If they can continue to do that for the game, they're going to make it tough on the Troy Colts, and hopefully they can come back and close this lead down.
I'll tell you what else can make it tough on the Troy Colts is that press they just applied, and they're going to keep applying it.
Well, the Ferndale coach, Don McNeil, told us he was going to use some changing defenses and do some pressing.
Well, Pfeiffer gets it ahead to Feldkamp. And one thing about the press, if you can't be successful with it, you're going to give up easy shots. And there, Cheek finally missed one, but Tyson had the putback. And on the second rebound, I believe they're going to call the foul, which would be after the shot.
Waukee Tyson doing a good job going up that time, grabbing 2 rebounds.
That foul was on.
And getting fouled there.
And that foul was on number 34, Sean Burnside. And Doug Grant's going to inbound for Troy underneath the basket. He's got Tyson open underneath, doesn't see him, and he goes up top to Pfeiffer instead. He fires up from the free throw line and gets it.
That was Jay Pfeiffer. That has a nice-looking jump shot.
19-11 Troy. Both teams shooting under 35%. Right. Ferndale 33, Troy at 31%. The difference, Ferndale with 6 turnovers to 2 for Troy. We just saw number 52, Reggie Ballard, get the layup for the Eagles.
That was a beautiful feed and a beautiful shot there by Reggie Ballard out on the block.
Waukee Tyson just got it swatted by that guy, number 44, Sean Hoppy.
And here's David Cheek feeding it into Waukee Tyson. And Dave, is that Dave Hoppy?
Sean Hoppy.
Sean Hoppy on the block there.
And Ferndale comes up with the big rebound as Ballard gets it into Hermes' hands, and he's going to try and force the break, but Pfeiffer steps in on the pass and gets the ball, and Troy comes back with it. Pfeiffer over to Cheek. He fires up again. That guy doesn't miss that
Cheek
shot.
is hot tonight. I think he's about 4 for 5 now.
Yeah. And all those jump shots, that ugly one-handed push, but it works.
Ugly, but it goes in.
That's right.
That's all you ask.
Exactly. Well, Ferndale's going with the perimeter game. They're going to try to probably get Stevens isolated at some point. Instead, they go underneath to Ballard. He's got Tyson on him, throws it off the glass. No, Stevens is fighting for the rebound with Tyson.
Reggie Ballard.
Ballard sneaks underneath while the other two guys are fighting for it and gets the putback.
Ballard has come into the game. He's doing a great job on the board for the Ferndale Eagles.
Oh, Feldkamp just takes him to the hole, though, coming the other way and draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. And Feldkamp, even with those 2 fouls, that hasn't affected his aggressiveness at all.
And here's Feldkamp driving down the lane. And there's Reggie Ballard following him on the shot.
And we're going to see number 24, Krupitzer, back in now, replacing Doug Grant for the Troy Colts. Krupitzer, for what it's worth, ranked, he's the 121st leading scorer in Oakland County at 8.2 points per game.
Kevin's had a few good games for the Troy Colts. I've got to see them play a couple of times this season. And he's a player that's capable of getting hot from time to time.
I'll tell you, they're playing in a league that is so balanced this year. You know, you heard all preseason as you see Feldkamp make the first one. Berkeley, Troy, Southfield, those were the teams, maybe Ferndale. And you never heard about Royal Oak Kimball, and look who's in first place, Royal Oak Kimball, but not by much. But it just shows what a balanced league this is. And even some of the teams at the bottom, you know, Andover, Seaholm, you know, Berkeley has picked in the top 10. The state is in last place, but, you know, Seaholm and Andover have been able to upset some people, too. This is a very balanced league this year.
That's right, and Berkeley also has a top player in the area on their team.
As you see, they got the fast break there to number 44, Sean Hoppy. I believe Berkeley's top player is hurt, though, isn't he?
Is he? Okay, I didn't know that.
Might have something to do with him being in last place.
This is the 6'9" guy. I don't know what his name is, but I've heard he's quite a player.
Well, Feldkamp just threw it off the glass, and Stevens with the rebound. And second time tonight, we've seen Jarrett Stevens bring the ball up on the fast break. Waukee Tyson steps in and tries to block number 50, Dwayne Jones, from about 12 feet away. And Waukee Tyson gets the foul, and Jones will go to the line. Dwayne Jones, son of the Ferndale athletic director, Dwayne Jones Sr.
And here's Jarrett Stevens coming down with the ball, makes a pass to Dwayne Jones. He goes up for the shot, draws the foul from Waukee Tyson. He'll go to the line and he'll shoot 2.
Ferndale's first trip to the line, where Troy is 5 for 6, and we saw in last week's game what free throws can do for a team, as Clawson beat Avondale basically by making their free throws.
By making their free throws.
And as we say that, he
And
misses
just as we say that, right, we put the jinx on Dwayne
Sorry
Jones.
about that, Dwayne. And Troy's going to bring number 50, Doug Grant, back into the game and give Cheek a rest. And Dave Cheek with a quick 8 points off the bench.
I don't think Cheek needs a rest. I'd ride him while he's hot.
Yeah, keep going to the well till it's dry.
Till it's dry.
Jones misses again, but Stevens with the rebound and the putback doesn't get that. And this rebound comes down to Krupitzer, who gets the outlet to Pfeiffer. And he's going to try to get over the midcourt. Picks up the dribble, gives it to Grant, and gets it back. Now he's got Hermes guarding him, and they're going to try to set the offense up. Now he's got Feldkamp on the wing trying to post up Tyson.
And Ferndale's playing a man-to-man.
Right, Stevens on Tyson. Tyson tries to fake him, take it off the glass, and good.
High off the glass.
Man, 25-17 Troy.
There's Troy once again with that 2-2-1 press.
You see number 32, Hermes bringing it over midcourt. Now he gets to Hoppy. He fires up from 16 feet off the glass and good. And Sean Hoppy, if he gets hot, he's going to hit a few. But he can be a streaky player, and that might be the kind of thing they need.
Well, it's there. If they can get the ball past the first line of the press, their 2 men who are down here waiting on the block are open.
That foul there, as Ferndale was pressing, was on Ferndale's guard, number 11, James Gatewood, who just came into the game. And they're going to keep this press going and make Troy work a little harder. And they've just got to hope that they don't give up any easy baskets by doing so. Well, Pfeiffer gets it up quickly.
There's
to
Jared
Krupitzer,
Stevens.
and he misses, and Stevens with the rebound and a foul, I believe, on Krupitzer. And something we saw last week again, you miss the layup, and sometimes you come back with a foul real quickly because of the frustration.
And that's exactly what happened there with Kevin Krupitzer. He goes in, gives a little fake, goes up, takes the shot, doesn't go in. There's Jared Stevens with the rebound, and Kevin Krupitzer commits the foul.
And this little guy that just came in for Ferndale, and we get a shot of him, number 23, Rashad Phillips. The reason he's little is he's a 9th grader.
So he's a freshman now.
Freshman getting playing time on the varsity, and from what we understand, according to Coach McNeil, the most consistent point guard they've got. And he's gonna fire up the three right away, and
nice. Comes in off the bench and hits a three.
He may look young and he might be small, but that's a big play he just made, and suddenly it's a 3-point game, 25-22.
Oh,
Underneath,
beautiful.
Pfeiffer feeds him right through the lane, and Tyson comes up with the dunk.
That was an excellent pass there from Jay Pfeiffer. Going up to the top of the key, feeding down to the lane to Waikiki Tyson. Tyson slams it in.
All right, there you see Phillips. He puts the ball into Gatewood's hands. He's going to set the offense up. And Hoppy's got it, and they're going to try, I think, to post Stevens up. He's got the situation where he can get the ball, but now they come over to double team. Phillips now kicks the ball out to Gatewood. He's going to drive, fire it off the glass. No, Stevens with the rebound and the putback. And he just takes up space, boxes out. He's 6'6", he's big, he's strong, and he's athletic. It's hard to do anything about that. And Krupitzer got the shooter's roll coming back from the baseline about 12 feet away.
Those are some friendly rims there, Joe.
Oh, it's a new building. You know, it's supposed to be friendly.
Home team rims.
That's right. Well, there you saw Phillips throw the ball away. I think he thought that Hoppy was going to cut over, and instead he came up instead of to the baseline.
And that's the one thing Ferndale cannot do tonight, is throw the ball away.
Well, Feldkamp's getting double teamed, and he almost turns it over, and now he does. Stevens gets it to Phillips, back to Stevens, and he's going to thunder dunk it.
They came with the trap, they got the ball. It was a 2-on nobody, and Jared Stevens went in for the slam.
Not just 2-on nobody, it was a freshman and a sophomore combining to get that easy basket. And Troy throws it away again in 29-26, and Ferndale's got a chance to either potentially tie or at least get down by one here. As you see, Troy's going to rest Greg Feldkamp, and they're going to bring Cheek back in. Probably a good idea. That's the guy who was getting the points for him.
That's right, he was the hot hand. And you know that last point you made by that being the freshman and the sophomore down there, that looks good for Ferndale for years to come.
Oh, yeah. They're going to post up number 50, Jones. He fires up the glass and gets the foul as well.
What a shot there by Dwayne Jones.
Little jump hook and the foul on number 50. That's Doug Grant, and they do have a chance to tie it up if he can convert this free throw. There you see
here's the
Gatewood.
replay. Dwayne Jones gets the feed, makes a fake, pivots around, goes up, got contact, and puts the ball in the bucket.
All of a sudden, what had been consistently an 8 to 10 point lead is maybe about to be a tie game.
Is there something to that Cosman you were talking about there, Joe?
Cosmo's never wrong. I mean, like I say, just ask him.
Well, right now he's looking pretty good. It's a 29-29 tie.
I think he's hoping that the Troy people like buy him a car like the Walled Lake Western people did during football season. There's another turnover by Troy. Jones comes up and doesn't travel, I guess, and gets the layup.
I thought for certain, Joe, that he was going to lose control of the ball because he was kind of like, you know, losing the handle of it, but he caught it as he was going up and put it in the basket.
Well, all of a sudden, it's a 2-point lead for Ferndale, 31-29. Krupitzer takes it to the hole.
Beautiful move.
We have seen some great plays, and they get it right in the hands of the freshman Phillips. Pfeiffer tries to steal from him, doesn't get it. Phillips fires off like a glass so high. In the last 2.5 minutes, we've seen about 4 or 5 unbelievable plays, and this freshman is really getting into it.
We are seeing some great plays, but you know the action is moving so fast that we can't see the replays.
Yeah, if we can get a camera on Rashad Phillips, he's fired the team up. Just watch him high-fiving everybody, almost high-fived the referee on that last play. Littlest guy on the court, and he's got everybody else going.
Watch this shot. It says it all on its own.
Oh, my. And you didn't see what happened after that, but he came up and actually high-fived, well, as high as he could get, high-fived the referee. Gatewood now with the ball up top for Ferndale. They're going to try to increase their lead with under a minute left in the quarter. Gatewood looks to go down low to Carlos Griffin, who's on for the last minute. Carlos, quarterback of their football team during the football season, more of a defensive specialist on the basketball team. Stevens gets it down low, pump fakes Pfeiffer in the air, doesn't get the shot to go, but does get the foul on Jay Pfeiffer, and he'll take himself to the free throw line. Jarrett Stevens averages 21.4 points per game, but he is 48 for 130 at the free throw line.
And here's the replay here. Jarrett Stevens down on the block, gets the feed from Phillips. Jarrett Stevens does what he's supposed to do when he gets it down there. He goes up strong with it and draws a foul. So he'll go to the line for 2.
48 for 130. I don't know what that works out to, but I know it's substantially under 50%. But stranger things have happened. If he gets 1 out of 2, hey, that take it. You know, you'd be up 3.
Well, here's something that he needs to work on then. Doesn't look good.
And you can see number 11, James Gatewood, trying to give him a little shooting advice there at the free throw line, which is probably the wrong place to be coaching a guy about shooting.
Well, maybe it helped.
Yeah, well, yeah, as I speak, James Gatewood must have helped him out a little bit, and they're going to rest Jarrett Stevens for the last 38.8 seconds of this half. Ferndale with the 34-31 lead. Feldkamp goes up, gets the ball up to number 33, Gary Freilich. He's going over to Pfeiffer. He fires up just inside the three-point line, doesn't get it. Number 33, Freilich with the putback, and it's a one-point game, 34-33. 20 seconds left in the quarter, in the half actually. Rashad Phillips brings the ball up, the freshman. He gets ahead to Gatewood. 13 seconds left, the clock counting down. Gatewood still with the ball up top. Feldkamp checking him. He's going to try to drive and fire it up from 18 feet. He doesn't get it. Pfeiffer knocks the rebound away. That should be enough time to get the clock out. But no, Phillips fires up at the buzzer and almost gets another incredible shot.
It was close.
That one just goes off the back of the rim. But still, the Ferndale Eagles, who were down by, I believe, 10 points several times in this first half, now have a 1-point lead. 34-33 over the Troy Colts, as you see Jim Clary taking his troops into the locker room for halftime. And we'll be back with some numbers right after this on TCI Cable.
No,
You told me I could go.
not with them.
You don't listen. I can't stand it.
Sometimes it's hard to talk, but she'll be home later and she'll want to listen. So talk to her then about the hard issues: drinking, smoking, driving safely. Talk to her. Help her decide not to smoke, because if you don't, who will?
Everybody needs help talking to their kids sometimes. Call for your free booklet on how parents can talk to their teenagers about smoking and other tough issues. The Family Course Consortium believes smoking shouldn't be a part of growing up.
And we're back here at the new Troy High, about to start the second half with the Ferndale Eagles in front, 34-33 over the Troy Colts in what would be an upset. Let's take a look real quickly at those first half stats.
As we can see here, field goal wise, it's kind of even. Free throws, Troy has a few more. And the rebounding, Ferndale is out rebounding the taller Troy Colts.
And right there, a Troy turnover, and that turnover stat is misleading because Ferndale had, I believe, 7 at one point to just 1 for Troy, so there was that big switch at the end, and it continues here early in the second half. There you see Burnside with the ball. He goes over to Hoppy. Troy playing a real tight defense on each guy right now. They're trying to post Stevens up, but instead they go underneath to Henderson, and he gets the easy layup. They were so worried about Jarrett Stevens that Tom Henderson was able to get himself the easy layup.
Absolutely, that was a good pass, and Henderson went right up for the bucket.
This time, number 24, Kevin Krupitzer, comes right back off the glass as the defenders held back and tried to guard Wyke Tyson from catching the lob, and instead Krupitzer went off the glass himself from about 15 feet. Now they post up Stevens, and Wyke Tyson comes from behind and slaps the ball out of bounds.
So we've got Wyke Tyson and Doug Grant both converging on Jarrett Stevens to try to control him down on the block.
Hoppy's going to inbound it. He goes to Henderson. He misses the layup this time. Tyson just snatches that rebound out of Henderson's hands. Pfeiffer now brings the ball up to Feldkamp. He looks to drive through the lane, fires up.
Oh, nice running one-hander there by Greg Feldkamp.
One-handed push shot thing on the Troy team. Cheek and Feldkamp.
You think he's been picking up something from Dave Cheek there?
These guys must have some great horse games after practice. Hermes goes over to Burnside. He goes back up top to Hermes with Feldkamp checking him. Stevens now in the high post, gets the ball at the free throw line, fires up the jumper, blocked by Feldkamp. Tyson looked like he had the rebound, and Henderson came over and slapped it out of his hands. I believe that they're going to call that foul on Henderson, and they do.
You know, Jared Stevens had a tough time down underneath. Both Waikiki Tyson and Doug Grant are putting a body on him, so he stepped out to the foul line and got the pass. He could have went ahead and drove down the lane, but he decided to take a jump shot and had it blocked.
Well, Pfeiffer gets the ball up ahead to Feldkamp now as the Colts try to break. They go underneath to number 24, Krupitzer, and he gets the easy layup, and Krupitzer has a quick 4 points here in the second half.
That's right. He's getting open here in the second half and making the buckets as he's being found by his teammates.
And the Colts have a 39-36 lead, and the Ferndale Eagles got to do something just to make sure it doesn't get away from them. They played a great last 5 minutes of the first half. They've got to come back and play that same style and that same kind of aggressive play now here in the second half.
Absolutely. You know, Joe, the opening of the third quarter is so critical because you get some teams who come out and they're a little lax. Other teams come out with a little more pressure, and that's where you can make a break on a team and get up a few points on them.
Well, there we saw Hoppy miss off the front of the rim, but Hermes was able to come over and take the rebound. And Ferndale's going to call a timeout right now, and that might be what they want to talk about.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because they closed out the half excellently, but they came out here in the second half and they're a little lackadaisical.
Yeah, Coach McNeil's going to sit his guys down to make sure that they know what it is they want to do here in the second half and not let this thing get away from them. We're going to go down there and hear what he has to say.
When Jared moved up, Thomas coming under. That's the man we want to hit. We missed him 3 times. Let's go, man. Come on, we have to go side. Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Let's do that. Let's do that. Stop jogging back on the damn play. Let's go. Time to go to work. Time to go to work. Let's go.
Well, now they're going to have to come out and execute the offense, try to get the ball into Jarrett Stevens' hands.
Absolutely.
You know, when they were able to get it to him in the first half, he got baskets. The hard part was getting it to him.
Getting it to him, absolutely. And the coach has diagrammed the play that they've been trying to run. He said a man has been open 3 times, but the pass has yet to get to him. So let's see if Ferndale can run the play that they want to run here.
I've got to figure if they don't get it going soon, we're going to see Rashad Phillips pretty quickly. Burnside's got the ball. He goes underneath to Henderson. And for the second time, Tom Henderson is open because they double-teamed Jarrett Stevens. This time he gets the bucket and the foul.
Absolutely. He got the pass. He did a great job of going up strong, put the ball in the bucket. Here's the replay here. Gets a nice pass, goes up strong, draws the foul from Jay Pfeiffer and puts the bucket in. So he's got a chance now for a 3-point play.
That's Pfeiffer's second foul. And suddenly, nothing to worry about. You got a tie game. Feldkamp now with a little bit of pressure gets knocked down. Not really by anybody, just trying to get the ball back, I think. Now he's got the ball. He goes over to Pfeiffer. He's looking down low to Tyson. Can't get it to him. Instead, he goes to Krupitzer. He fires up a reverse layup that's blocked by Henderson. And the ref's going to call a foul on that.
Joe, we've noticed Kevin Krupitzer is coming to the forefront here. He gets the pass, drives down the lane, goes up, and he draws the foul, trying to make that reverse layup.
You know, once you get it going, there's somebody who got it going in the first half, Dave Cheek. Once you get it going, you get a little looser and you can kind of just play your own game. That seems to be what Krupitzer's doing, kind of like Cheek did in the first half.
Absolutely. He's starting to get into a flow. You start to feel the game, and you want it to come to you.
They're going to let Waikiki Tyson sit down for a couple minutes to catch his breath as Krupitzer gets the shooter's roll.
He gets that home team rim to fall for him once again.
And both rims.
Yeah, but you see, it's their gym, so they know how to hit it up there, you know?
Hey, they paid a lot of money for this gym, so it ought to do that for him. He doesn't get the second one.
We talk too much, Joe.
Sean Hoppy brings the ball up. Now he goes over to Burnside. Stevens trying to post up. They can't get it to him. He's got Grant fronting him. Hermes now has the ball. Still looking to post up Stevens, and they're going to call a foul as Grant and Stevens are just pushing each other back and forth. And let's see if they call the second, third, or fourth shove. And they're going to call the fourth shove, which I believe was on number 50, Grant.
That's right. Here it is right here. You see Jarrett Stevens and Doug Grant fighting for position down there.
You know, and there you see the inbound of Stevens off the glass. You know, I'm not going to criticize a ref's call, but they're killing each other. I don't know how you call one guy for the foul. Just let it go. But they're no harm done. They get the basket. And Troy's going to try to push it. Feldkamp with the ball, tries to force it into Cheek, gets knocked away. Now Feldkamp has it again. He's going to bring it up top and get it into Pfeiffer's hand, and he's going to set the offense up. They're trying to send Cheek over to the right side and Krupitzer over to the left. Pfeiffer brings it left side, takes it to the baseline, and fires up an 18-footer and gets it.
Beautiful shot there by Jay Pfeiffer.
And now it's Troy 42, Ferndale 41, and we got a seesaw affair, as they like to say.
Let's see if Ferndale can get the ball inside to Jared Stevens. That's where they want to go, either to Stevens or on the other side to Henderson.
Well, Hoppy's got the ball now. He fires up a 14-foot running jump shot, and Pfeiffer knocks the rebound around and finally gets control, but throws the outlet. Well, it looked like he threw it away, but Cheek came up and got it himself. Now Feldkamp with the baseline jumper, no. Krupitzer tries with the putback, doesn't get that, but they're going to call Sean Hoppy over the back with a foul on the putback. That should get him to the free throw line.
Krupitzer is all around the ball here in this third quarter. He's up on the board that time, drawing a foul as he was going up for the rebound. Here's the replay here. As you see, Kevin has position, goes up, tries to tap it back in, draws the foul with Hoppy coming over his back.
That's one of those, well, they're not even going to call that a shooting foul, but that's one of those, I think, where you don't touch him, but it looks like a foul, and they always call a foul. Kind of like when you reach around and knock away the dribble. It's
just one of those that the referees like to call,
yeah.
Right.
Just the way it is. Troy Colts are 4 for 4 from the field this quarter. Ferndale 3 for 7. And we've probably jinxed him right here. Let's see. Cheek throws it up to Feldkamp. He fires up a 3, and yeah, we jinxed him.
And will we hear air ball?
In his home gym, too. Man.
Few people here from Ferndale.
I guess. and to make matters worse, there's a foul on Troy's number 50, Doug Grant, after the rebound. The airball yellers have Troy jackets on. If I'm Feldkamp, when I'm in school
we have
tomorrow,
traders in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And Troy High is known for its school spirit. You know, their students really get behind their teams.
Okay, Troy's playing a 2-1-2 zone defense now, and Jared Stevens is at the top of the foul line.
Yeah, they can get it to him in the high post. They've been able to do that all night. Now Hermes fires up from about NBA three-point range and goes off the front of the rim. And Krupitzer comes up with the rebound.
I don't know about that one, Joe. It wasn't a good-looking three-point shot at all.
Tyson gets it in the lane, turnaround jumper doesn't go, and the 34, Burnside, comes up with the rebound, and he's going to lead the break right down the middle of the floor. He slows it up, sets the offense up. They got Stevens in the high post again. Looks like he's going to go across the floor, though, to Hermes. He's double-teamed, gets away. They've got number 24, Doug Bennett, on the floor. He's going to try to post up Jay Pfeiffer underneath him.
Ferndale just cannot get the ball inside to Jared Stevens.
No, that time, Pfeiffer knocked Hermes' entry pass away. He fires up a 3, and that's 2 3-pointers he's missed off the front of the rim in the last 2 possessions.
And a 2-on-2 break. Cheeks takes it all the way.
Couldn't stop it. If you tried to stop Cheek, he'd have just passed it over to Feldkamp. Nothing you can really do about that except hope for a miss, I guess. Burnside takes it, fires up from 18 feet away off the back of the rim. But an offensive rebound controlled by Bennett. They get the ball finally to Hermes. This time he nails the triple.
This time, absolutely.
Third time's a charm. And we got a tie game once again, 44-all.
Once again, Ferndale kind of changes up the defense on him. That time they came out and played a little half-court press with him.
Yeah, Krupitzer thought about the triple, but instead passed it to Pfeiffer, who went to Cheek, and now back to Pfeiffer up top, and they're going to reload their offense. Pfeiffer looks to drive, instead sends it down to Krupitzer, or to Feldkamp rather. He goes to Krupitzer.
Beautiful play.
And Krupitzer can't miss.
Beautiful play. Nice skip pass as Krupitzer came down the lane, backdoor, got a pass, and laid it in.
And would it be fair to say Krupitzer's in the zone?
He's in the zone, absolutely.
That's official now. Dave Jones has said he's in the zone.
If I say he's in the zone, he's in the zone.
That's right. This time, Jared Stevens gets it outside the three-point line, pulls Mikey Tyson with him, and they get Tom Henderson for his 3rd layup of the quarter as the defense comes away.
Absolutely. They cannot get into Jared Stevens, so he's coming out to the lane, and Tom Henderson's running the baseline and getting open.
Yeah, we'll see how long they keep with that defense. This time, the second air ball of the second half for the Troy Colts ends up with Jared Stevens getting the rebound and the fast break. And Bennett fires up a shot. It gets swatted away, but there was a foul, I believe, on the way up. They're going to let him shoot 2. We'll see what the ref calls.
Here's Jared Stevens coming down, running the fast break, makes the pass over to the wing. And
they're going to call that foul on Jay Pfeiffer, and that's his 3rd foul, I believe.
Who is that, Bennett? Is that number 24, Doug Bennett going to the line.
Doug Bennett going to the line, and coming onto the floor right now, number 23, Rashad Phillips. We mentioned a freshman. Should mention also Troy's number 33, Gary Freilich, who we saw at the end of the first half, also a freshman. I'll tell you, Rashad Phillips, pretty confident player for a freshman, and he's been backing it up too.
Absolutely. He did a hell of a job in the first half coming in and really making some things happen for the Ferndale Eagles, and they're looking for him to spark them once again here in the second half.
As you see Bennett make the first free throw, and no disrespect to Rashad Phillips, but he looks like he's in about the 4th grade. Just his face.
Well, I think Rashad Phillips feels like Muggsy Bogues has proven there's a place for the little man in the game.
Oh, there, he missed the free throw. Stevens had the rebound but threw it away, and now they get it into the hands of Feldkamp. Now Feldkamp throws it over to Pfeiffer. He's going to fire up a triple to the right side. Hands it. Jay Pfeiffer coming into this game had 28 three-pointers, which was part of, I believe, a 4-way tie for second most in Oakland County, behind, I believe, 30 of them.
Henderson, once again, getting loose on the baseline.
You saw Henderson having a great quarter himself, as we talk about Krupitzer all the time. Waterford Mott's Will Martin had 30 triples coming into this game. Jay Pfeiffer, one of the top three-point shooters in Oakland County.
And Joe, I've got to say, Jay Pfeiffer has one of the prettiest looking shots I've ever seen.
Probably shouldn't fire up an NBA triple, though. Now Rashad Phillips with the ball.
3-on-1.
Oh, they're going to call the travel. Give it to him. Come on.
Yes.
Man. Yes. It's not the NBA. You're not there yet. You know what? Most of the time, though, when they call that, it's not a travel. Let's see.
Here he comes.
You know, I don't think
close.
he traveled.
Yeah.
I don't think he traveled. I think that's the same as when you go around the back. They just call it because they say you can't do it.
Yeah, it
traveling.
looks that way.
Yeah, but, you know, he's a freshman, too. That's that freshman, like a rookie call. It's a freshman call. We got Krupitzer firing. Finally misses a shot. No basket for Cheek on the putback as the quarter ends, and you can't get any closer than this. 49-49, and they come out to try to encourage Rashad Phillips a little bit, keep his head in the game. The kid's done a great job. I'll tell you, you know who he looks like? Is we're going to go to. I'll tell you in a minute. We're going to go to the Troy huddle first. Next week, TCI Sports will travel to Oakland University as the Pioneers take on the Bulldogs of Ferris State. That's the game of the week next week, Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. on Channel 63. And, yeah, I'm going to tell you who I think Rashad Phillips looks like, a guy I went to high school with, B.J. Armstrong from the Chicago Bulls. And last time I checked, B.J. Armstrong, he's 25 years old, had yet to buy a razor blade.
Okay, and he still looks like a kid, right?
That's right. Jay Pfeiffer of the quarter, and he fires in a left-handed dunk that, well, if this was a certain other network, would be the Nike slam dunk of the game, but we probably shouldn't have said that since Nike didn't pay for this. And there's Rashad Phillips firing up a three off the back of the rim, and that rebound's going to go off of Tom Henderson, and Troy's got the ball. Yeah, B.J. Armstrong, when he was a rookie with the Bulls, got charged the child's admission at the Sears Tower.
And, you know, B.J. Armstrong still looks like a child. And I think you're right. That's one thing that Rashad Phillips has in favor with B.J.
I think he's going to enjoy that as he gets older.
That was quite a dunk there by Jay Pfeiffer to open up the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they stole the inbound pass, and they got the fast break going.
Yeah, here's Jay now going down with the dunk.
I'll tell you, Jay Pfeiffer, we saw the dunk, one of the top three-point shooters in Oakland County. I got to figure that when TCI telecasts the Oakland County Slam Dunk and three-point competition, we're probably going to see that guy in at least one, if not both, of the competitions.
Well, he can definitely get up.
Now we got Feldkamp with the ball. He goes to Tyson. He turns around for a 15-foot J, and
looks like they're going to get Jarrett Stevens on that one.
They got Jarrett Stevens with, I believe, his first foul of the game.
And here's the replay here. Dave Cheeks passes it to Feldkamp. Feldkamp makes the feed inside to Waikiki Tyson.
He goes up for the jumper, and Jared Stevens hits him on the arm.
Only the first foul on Stevens, and Waikiki Tyson at the free throw line. Where well, he made the first one. He's 12 for 33 on the season going into this game. So, again, as seems to be the case in high school basketball, free throws are the Achilles heel.
The one thing that the high school players need to work on, but he hits both of them.
I mean, he nails them both like he's Larry Bird.
Okay, and now the Colts come out with a 3-2 press.
Rashad Phillips throws one that luckily Jarrett Stevens caught, or we would have. This time, Henderson, that was Dwayne Jones.
I think Dwayne Jones was looking for a foul on that.
That was a new meaning to the word high glasser. And Feldkamp's got the ball. He's trying to bring it up. He's getting a little pressure. And Rashad Phillips steps in and tries to steal the ball from Brian Dukes, and he's going to get the foul called. He doesn't agree with it. Looked like he did hack him on the wrist that time.
I think he did. Most players never think they do.
Nobody ever committed a foul. Come on. Did you?
Never. Not in my lifetime.
Never traveled either.
And I think we've got another foul.
This time, it's on Rashad Phillips again, I believe it is. And that's the kind of thing that'll frustrate you. They've got to keep his head in the game. I think what they're going to do is sit him down, which they're going to do, bring Hermes in. Just relax him. He's a freshman and even a senior when he gets fouls called on him that quickly. Nice little design in the hair.
Right.
Just got to calm him down so that if you need him at the end, he'll have his head completely in the game. Now we got Feldkamp with the ball. Looking to post Tyson up again in the high post, though, and he's going to try to take Stevens' turnaround jump with a pump fake. Stevens blocks the shot anyway and gets the rebound.
And you know, Tyson really hasn't been a factor in this game. You haven't seen him dominate or pull down many rebounds at all.
Hasn't been able to get in the low post. They keep bringing him outside. Now they get the ball over to Stevens in three-point land. I don't know if they want him to shoot that. Go over to Gatewood. He fakes and drives, fires it up and misses, and Dukes comes up with the rebound and gets it in the fighter's hand, and he's pushing it up the floor to Tyson. He takes it inside on Gatewood. He knocks the ball away, and they're going to call a foul, and I believe they're going to call that a shot.
Let's see. I'm certain he was going to go up for the shot, but he wasn't really in the act of shooting, and as we can see here on the replay, he gets the...
Well, what you were going to do doesn't matter at the high school level, but apparently he was shooting.
Yeah, he's going to give him 2 shots on that. But that's a good foul. You don't want him to go up and slam it in on you.
See, Sean Hoppy just came into the game for Dwayne Jones, who we see sitting down, and hey, you know, Tyson made his last 2 free throws. According to the percentages, he ought to miss at least one of these now if you play the averages properly.
And the averages work out.
Averages work out, but still Troy maintains a 53-49 lead. You know, one of the things I comment on between quarters, the Troy band and their cheerleaders, as we see him miss the free throw and Cheat get the rebound over to Pfeiffer. He throws up a 3 and miss. Tyson, though, with the putback, he does not get it. And there's a foul, I believe, on Hoppy on the putback. And there it is, and he doesn't like it, but they were both rolling on the ground. And
Waukee Tyson went up strong for that rebound, but he went up strong on the shot, too strong, and put it back on the other side of the boards. Here we'll see Tyson gets the rebound, goes up, and he's too strong on the shot, and comes off on the other side.
Not a shooting foul, but they're in the bonus, so he'll get 1-and-1. Thing that I heard, they were doing that Atlanta Braves, Florida State Seminoles Tomahawk Chop, which is a great cheer, but they're the Colts, the Troy Colts. And it's something, a school I'm somewhat affiliated with, Seaholm, the Maples, do the same thing. What do these schools
what does it have to do with
chop? You know, it's a great cheer, but the thing is, they were chopping up there too. If they just played the song, maybe they could get away with it, but you can't chop with the Colts. You know, that just doesn't work.
Right,
and, you know, you got to call that. It's got to be called. As you see Pfeiffer make the first free throw on the front end of the 1-and-1.
I think with that chop thing, it's such a fun thing to do, you know? Everybody wants to adopt it, you know?
And Tyson, I should say, makes 2 free throws, and he's 4 for 6 on the game now from the line, which is above his average for the season.
And Joe, we've got about 2 minutes have been played here in the 4th quarter, and the Ferndale Eagles have yet to score.
And as you say that, Jarrett Stevens with the rebound off the Henderson miss, and he gets it, and he's going to have to come up big right now as it's 55-51. Henderson had an easy layup, and he missed it. Jarrett Stevens there, though, was able to clean up the glass and put it right back in. Now we got Feldkamp with the ball. He's going to go left side now, drive to the lane, looks for the shot, instead gets it out to Krupitz. We'll see if he's still hot. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but we're going to get a foul.
No, we're going to call it a charging foul.
Oh, my. hopefully have a replay of that because it looked like Henderson came in after he went airborne.
And here is the replay. Feldkamp is going to feed it to Krupitzer, who comes down the lane, goes up for the shot, and I don't know.
I think that's a good call now that I look at it. He was set. I thought he came in from the side watching it live, but he was right there and he just froze himself finally.
Once again, proven to be the most difficult call for the officials to make.
And a good argument for a replay. Of course, not at the high school level. At the high school level, I don't know how you can enforce that. Go up and grab Dad's camcorder for most of these games. Sean Hoppy's going to inbound it to Gatewood, and I believe that Pfeiffer knocked it out of bounds, and he did. The ball remains Ferndale's. And Troy is really packing it in defensively on this inbound. They're probably going to have to go up top to Hermes than they do on the inbound pass. He's going to try to go right side and post up Stevens. Instead, he gets it to Hoppy. Oh, misses the easy shot. Gets his own rebound, though. Takes it up strong and draws the foul. Way to recover.
Good exchange there for Hoppy. He went up, took a shot, came back, got his rebound, and drove it down into the lane. And once again, here we'll see Hoppy goes up with the shot. He misses. Ball comes off onto the floor. Hoppy retrieves the ball, drives it in one more time, and draws the foul.
That was a pretty hard foul he drew also. And that's Waikiki Tyson's third.
So that could become a factor.
And Hoppy drains the first one. 55-52. Not much scoring in the last minute or so, but Ferndale's been able to keep themselves close, and when you're the underdog, that's pretty much what you want to do, especially when you're out of the team's gym. Now it's 55-53, a 2-point game as Hoppy drains both free throws.
And Ferndale is coming with the press.
And it almost works as they trap Pfeiffer in the corner.
And Ferndale has been doing exactly what Coach Don McNeil said they would do, which is change the defenses.
Oh, and Stevens almost steals it from Feldkamp. Isn't quite able to get it, but Krupitzer fakes
great
Henderson, takes
fake
it to the
and
hole.
drive by Krupitzer.
Takes it off the glass. Krupitzer continues to have an excellent second half.
Staying in the zone.
He's still a resident. Now Hermes with the ball. He's going to look over to, well, he looked like he was looking at Stevens. Instead, tried to force it underneath to Henderson, and the play wasn't there that time. Krupitzer with the steal. But Hoppy blocks the shot. He's going deep. The ball gets deflected and picked up by Brian Dukes, and what should have been an easy basket for the Ferndale Eagles turns out to be a turnover, and Troy calls timeout. I think Ferndale thought there was going to be a travel call, but it was just a Troy timeout. And they're going to try to settle things down, I think, because even though they've had the lead, things seem to be getting away from them a little bit.
And that was good hustle by Brian Dukes on that last retrieval there in that steal.
In the meantime, Ferndale's got to figure out what they can do to get themselves back in the lead.
Start taking air out the ball, man. No pitch. We'll turn this thing around right now. I want to go defense. We got to go 40 Eagle right now defense. Offensively, when we come back down, I'm going to send Hoppy here. Tom, Jared, Tom. Burnside checking for Gatewood. Burnside in the corner. Lamar here. Triangle, let's look at it, and make sure you rotate. Make sure you rotate. Triangle, let's go.
Transition is a program designed to give perspective pertaining to African-American issues. Host Jeffrey Miller has conducted interviews with Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and Coleman Young. Watch Transition Saturday night at 10 on Channel 63. Something I've never seen before just happened. Ferndale tried to get Sean Burnside in off the timeout. The official wouldn't let him come in, saying he hadn't checked in before the first whistle at the end of the timeout.
And Joe, I've never seen that before either.
I know the official rule, there's a 10-second warning whistle and then an official whistle that ends the timeout. And if you haven't checked in by that 10-second warning whistle, you're not checked in. They didn't let him come in. Now they get to Pfeiffer inside the lane. Turning, gunning, it goes.
Jay Pfeiffer's having a nice game.
I hope Pat Collar enjoyed that, but 59-53. Troy with the 6-point lead.
Let's see if Ferndale can do something here offensively to get a bucket.
Hermes fighting up a three-pointer, doesn't get it, but Henderson with the putback, boxed out and had an easy putback because of the way he got positioned.
Nice tip by Henderson. Good job on the boards. There's Waikiki Tyson.
He breaks the press to Tyson. The Krupitzer goes up strong, but going up just as strong was Gatewood, who knocked the ball out of bounds. And now Sean Burnside can come in.
Had to sit and wait for a little bit, but he gets in good time. Here's the replay. Waikiki Tyson feeds Kevin Krupitzer, and Gatewood on the block.
Great block by Gatewood. Now the Troy Colts trying to set something up. Go down low to Dukes. Back up to Pfeiffer. Fires up a three. Oh my.
Woo! And the Nets are on fire, Joe.
62 to 55. And I think he's just joined Krupitzer in the ever-elusive zone. Hermes now with the ball. Over to Burnside. He fires up a three himself. Doesn't go, and Feldkamp with the rebound. He's going to try to push it. Gets it head to Krupitzer, and he's going to get an easy layup. No, off the... Well, let's see who they call this foul on. Probably on Tyson, as it looked like Henderson had the ball.
I would think so.
And that'll be 4 on Tyson.
And here's the replay. Kevin Krupitzer missing the layup. And there's Waikiki Tyson coming over the back of Henderson.
Krupitzer heard footsteps, I believe, and Tyson does indeed get his 4th foul. Both teams now in the bonus, and Henderson will get the 1-and-1. They're going to sit Tyson down and bring in Doug Grant. And there's 3 minutes left in this game as you see the Troy faithful up in the, I guess you call it, as much of rafters as you can get in a one-level gym. And Tom Henderson, a 6'4" senior forward, comes up the front end of the 1-and-1. And it's 62-56. And Ferndale really can't afford to get down any more than they were.
They really can't. They're still within striking distance, but they can't let the Troy Colts get away from them.
Now it might be a 3-point trip, and that's the best thing you could ask for is Jarrett Stevens comes up big again. Now Feldkamp tries to break the press, and he turns the ball over, just losing his balance.
Ferndale came with the press, and Feldkamp lost the ball out of bounds.
All of a sudden, again, a minute ago it was a 7-point lead, and they can cut it down to 2 right now. Hermes with Feldkamp checking him, takes it across the right side. Now he gets the ball back. He's looking over to Burnside. He might fire up a 3. He thinks about it. Now he goes back to Hermes. Got Stevens in the high post still. Henderson in the low post. He's got Pfeiffer 1-on-1. They might try to go down low to him instead to Jarrett Stevens. He fires up and misses, and Brian Dukes comes up with another big rebound. He's had a quietly effective game tonight.
Stevens got a good look at the basket that time and looked like it was going to go in, but it didn't.
See that? Jarrett Stevens got the rebound, started dribbling on the break, behind the back, kind of like Chris Webber does with that silly little thing, and it works about as well. They get the easy layup.
So Jarrett Stevens is showing that he can also run the fast break.
And I don't mean to call it silly, but most coaches hate that when you don't need it. And but hey, it worked. Take it. Now it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, if it works, you got to take it.
And it's actually his wasn't as silly as most of Chris Webber's.
Coach will scold them later.
That's right. Coach always has to scold you, otherwise you don't work. It's kind of the deal, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. What else is a coach for, right?
That's right. Now Krupitzer's got the ball. He picks up the dribble, and that's a kick by Sean Hoppy. But again, the Eagles, just when it looks like they're going to drift away, they come back.
Yeah.
And it's 62-60.
They're sticking around.
And Ferndale's going to bring Gatewood into the game right now. They're going to rest Burnside.
Maybe the coach is trying to get in a little more quickness.
Maybe some leaping ability. We saw that block he had.
Absolutely. And they're going with a man-to-man press.
Yeah, Feldkamp breaks a little bit of pressure, fires off the glass, and no, but Dukes comes up with a rebound. He goes off the glass and doesn't get it. And here comes Jarrett Stevens again on the break. Let's see if he goes all by himself. No, he goes to Hermes, back to Stevens, off the glass, and good. And the foul, and they have a chance to take the lead. Oh, my gosh.
Jarrett Stevens once again showing that the big man can run the break.
That's the best player in Oakland County, and I guess for the next 2 years after this, the best player in Oakland County.
And here's Jarrett Stevens making the feed over to Hermes. Hermes looks like he almost loses it, passes it back to Jarrett Stevens. He goes up strong, puts the bucket in, draws the foul.
I'll tell you, since we're making these Webber comparisons, we might as well point out that the last time there was a sophomore who was the #1 player in Oakland County, it was Chris Webber.
It was Chris Webber, okay.
So
let's see if Jarrett Stevens can put this foul shot down and put his team up by a point.
That foul by Krupitzer was his 3rd, by the way. And Jarrett Stevens off the front of the glass, and hey, it's not his strong point.
And once again, that home team rim, see, it didn't work for the Eagles.
That's right. That's right. If he had a Troy jersey on, it would have gone in. Feldkamp breaks the press, but now he gets a little pressure at the top of the free throw line, or of the 3-point line, I should say. And now Krupitzer picks up the loose ball, but still the Colts are having trouble controlling this possession.
Ferndale's coming out with a lot of pressure.
Gatewood's all over Feldkamp. He goes to Pfeiffer, back up to Krupitzer, and they're going to try to run this clock out, I believe, and play for the last shot as we're under a minute.
Ferndale's matched up man-to-man. Trying to overplay. That was Gatewood trying to overplay the pass, but he drew the foul, or he got the foul on Feldkamp.
Let's see if they call it on Gatewood or Hoppy. They do call it on Gatewood, and I was about to say that Troy had to be careful about getting a 5-second call, and I think it was close, but there was the foul, and as it's in the bonus, Greg Feldkamp will get the 1-and-1. And I think that's the guy you want at the line if you're Troy. 17 for 28 going into the game. That's a pretty good percentage for a high school kid.
And he'll need to make both of these. Looks good.
Well, he makes the first, which at least they've got the lead. Now the pressure's on Ferndale. You know, they can't stall necessarily for the last shot. They've got to
come down and try and get a bucket.
Got to score. Ice water.
Good looking foul shooter.
Yeah. Well, now Hermes is going to bring it up. Eagles down by 2 with 34 seconds left in the game, as you see on the screen. And Ferndale calls timeout, and they're going to have to set something up to at least get a tie and go into overtime. Maybe get a 3-point field goal or post Jarrett Stevens or Henderson up down low and try to get the field goal and the foul. Whatever it is, we're going to go into their huddle right now and see what it is that Coach McNeil has planned.
First off, we got to run sideline box. Just in case they try something. Matter of fact, this is what I want to do. Go with that. We line up 1, 2, 3, line by Jared here. If he plays behind Jared, just throw it right to him. Jared, step to the ball. Step to the ball, you hear me? Now, after we're in offense, and they're in that zone, I want to go right now. Jared, Tom, Gatewood, Amar, Pop. Come this way. Jared, look. 1, 2, get up out there. Let's go, Dan. Right in. Let's go. If we don't score, follow me. Let's go. Go for the ball.
Coach Don McNeil has diagrammed a couple of plays depending on what type of defense Troy comes out in.
They're going to have Gatewood inbound the ball. 32.2 seconds left. Troy up by 2. Ferndale with the ball. They get it to Gatewood. Looks baseline. He's got number 50, Grant, all over him. He goes underneath, though, to Henderson on a block from behind by Waikiki Tyson off the glass. And Jarrett Stevens has to foul Jay Pfeiffer. And I don't know if that's the guy you want to foul and send him to the line. But you got to foul somebody in 19.6 seconds left. And Jay Pfeiffer, 21 for 28 going into this game on the year at the free throw line.
And here's the replay. The ball goes into Henderson, but Waikiki Tyson, we talked about him not being a factor, but he was a factor there.
I was going to say, kind of quiet all night until the most important part of the game.
Went up and got a block there on Henderson's shot.
It's got to be the Sox.
Must be the Sox. It was the Sox for Pistol Pete Maravich, right?
But they were dragging. this is about the antithesis of Pistol Pete Maravich.
That's what they've grown for years, Joe.
Oh, but he misses the free throw. Ferndale gets it. Jarrett Stevens and quickly calls timeout with 18.4 seconds left. And again, the Eagles dodge a bullet.
Yes, they did, but they did what they had to do, which was foul. And Jay Pfeiffer missed the free throw, so now they have another chance to try and tie this game up.
And they're about to check. They check Gatewood and Phillips, and we're going to go back down to that Ferndale huddle.
Jared, take it out. Hop, take it out. Rashad, come on. Get the ball. Let's get up court. Once we get across midcourt, I want Jared here. Right here, Jared. No. Jared, go to 3-point. Put Tom here. Hop up here. Amara and Rashad. We look at this. If it's down, you got it for the win. Go ahead, man. Look at Tom inside. If they all come across, send it to the shot for the ball run. Let's go. Post him up strong.
18.4 seconds left, and Gatewood and Phillips come in. Again, the young freshman Phillips hit a couple of great shots near the end of the first half. I think you might see some heroics from him at the end of the game.
And the one thing that Coach Don McNeil needs on the court are ball handlers. So he's brought Phillips into the game. And we see the Troy Colts coming with token pressure.
And they're going to give Hermes the ball, though, to start it off. He goes over to Jarrett Stevens. He goes across court to Phillips, over to Hoppy, back up to Hermes. 5 seconds left. They got to get a shot off. He fires up in the NBA three-point range off the front and no. And Krupitzer gets the rebound, and the game is over. A valiant effort falls just short for the Ferndale Eagles, and the Troy Colts dodge a bullet and keep themselves right in the thick of the SMA race, winning 64-62.
Well, the Eagles came close. They had a chance there, but that was not the shot that you want to get in that particular situation. You want to try to get the ball in and at least give yourself an opportunity to draw a foul so you can go to the foul line and take 2 shots if you don't get the bucket.
Yeah, you look at a relieved Jim Clary as he saw that shot go off the front of the rim, and you have to credit his defense for not allowing them to get the post-up situation and forcing Hermes to fire that shot up as the time was running out. And again, the Colts dodge a bullet, move to 5-1 in the SMA, and depending on what Kimball does as this game was going on against Seaholm tonight, are either a half game behind or a half game ahead in the SMA race.
Absolutely, they could go to, well, they do go to 5-1 now, right?
That's right, and they have not played Kimball yet this year, so they've got to face each other twice more, and that's probably going to be what decides the SMA title. Again, there's the final score. The Troy Colts 64, the Ferndale Eagles 62. We'll be back with the final stats right after this on TCI.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
And back here at Troy High, where the Colts dodge a bullet and beat the Ferndale 64-62 to stay right in the thick of things in the SMA race. Well, Ferndale falls to 1-4 and realistically doesn't have a chance of winning the SMA title, but now they've got to use this as a stepping stone, I guess, and try to prepare for the state playoffs.
Absolutely, and for a 1-4 team, they didn't look like a 1-4 team tonight. They played a great game.
As you look at the stats, both teams under 50%, but for some of the games we've seen this year, both teams actually shot well. And Troy at the free throw line, again, free throws the difference, really.
And also one of the telling things is I thought Troy would have been the top rebounding team, but Ferndale, being a little smaller, out-rebounded the Troy Colts.
Troy able to overcome that. Troy kind of caught up with the turnovers there late in the first half, early in the second half, but still able to make just enough shots. And Jay Pfeiffer with a tremendous game leading the way for them. And
yeah, Jay Pfeiffer had a good game tonight. He shot extremely well, played well handling the ball and just keeping the team together.
And we're going to take a look at the individual leaders right now in this game. And Jay Pfeiffer, I believe, was the leading scorer, at least for Troy, with 17 points. And Krupitzer, and I'm pretty sure all 13 of those are in the second half.
They must have came in the second half when Krupitzer got in that zone and came out in the second half and did a good job of going to the hoop and making quite a few buckets for his team.
And on the other hand, Jarrett Stevens, who had his brother Dwayne all the way down from East Lansing to watch this game with 20, and Henderson got his 12 largely because Jarrett Stevens got double-teamed in the high post.
That's right, and they were feeding Henderson down along the baseline, and he was going up and getting buckets down along the baseline there.
And that's the kind of guy that can come up big for you late in the year into the playoffs and maybe help you make some noise when the state playoffs finally come around. There you see Ferndale couldn't get it going in the first quarter, came up huge in the second, and it was an even game from that point on.
That's right. Ferndale just lost by 2. They played a good game, and they can't hold their heads down on this one.
No, and again, something to build on. And in the meantime, Troy waiting to hear what happened with Kimball and Seaholm, either a half game up or a half game down in the SMA race, and obviously waiting to see what happens as we look at the world's greatest fisherman, or at least the best fisherman still in this building. That reminds you, we'll remind you now, that next week's game, the Ferris State Bulldogs will take on the Oakland University Pioneers. That'll be Saturday and Monday at 7 o'clock on Channel 63. Back to the college ranks after a couple weeks of high school basketball. And we'll remind you one more time that it was the Troy Colts 64, the Ferndale Eagles 62. For Dave Jones, I'm Joe Abramson. Good night, everybody.